I bet a yokel like yourself would be eager to see some explosions. Never mind why we're blowing things up just yet. We'll get to that. I've gone ahead and marked the locations of likely treasures and dangers. Consider me magnanimous. You can choose what we uncover, since I'm eager to see what kind of luck you possess. I'll wait back here, as far back as possible. Lay out a chain of devices. We'll make a mighty fine display. Like yourself, I am honor bound to discover the fate of Medvid and the Druids of the Broken Circle. They believed they could see into the future by peering into the past. Hypothetically, that's a power I'd very much like to have for reasons of chance and profit. But I'm not sure I want it to be true. If Medvid and his nature mystics were right, and time truly is a circle, aren't we all doomed to repeat our lives over and over for eternity? If that is the truth, then there is no luck. No chance, no human will. All life is just a stage play repeating over and over. I don't think I like that notion. His final fate was unknown, but I do know he cast off his peaceful ways and trained with 2 powerful axes after he arrived here. We're not fools. We see that the dead rise here on Rayclast. If Medvid is still out there, he'll be extremely dangerous. Conserve your luck, and use it against him if you find him. During the failed rebellion, I once called out with all my heart. An arrow was arcing through the air. My arm was pinned, and I knew I couldn't get out of the way in time. I was a dead woman. But luck answered my earnest request. Another arrow, also on a murderous path, hit the first in mid-air, and both were diverted, landing on either side of me instead. That was the first time I knew that chance itself was a real force in this world. I didn't say that. You must have misheard. Try to go as far as you can with the detonation cord. Further! All placed. Shall we light it up? I should also mention, this might unearth monsters. You can take them. You did it! You did it! Most of the locals I grabbed for this job don't last long. Ha, yes, I could have been more upfront about the danger. But you see, people don't take the job when I mention that the upturned ground is full of deadly creatures. It's a mighty awful land you've got here, local. I wonder anyone survives at all. Though that does speak to why I'm here in the first place. But you'll have to ask Danig about that, if you find him. By the way, if you enjoy a bit of risk, I've got a few things I've unearthed that might be of interest to you. I'll finish up here. See you again soon. Yes? I'll finish up here.
To kill is to live in Rayclast.
There you go, Exile. Destroying remnants is a risky endeavor, but you can clearly handle it. seems destroying ancient remnants alters anything we subsequently unearth. Treasures and monsters both. It's a gamble, and you know I'm always up for that. So long as you're ready to handle the consequences. With the violence.
Come on now, don't got all day. The name's Tujin. You're to do the dirty work while we do the digging. It's as good an alliance as any. Well, let's up to it. Hail. I'm of a particular purpose, see? I'm scratching up the ground in search of an ancient rowdy band. They were called the Black Scythe Mercenaries. Their founder, a particularly heroic warrior by the name of Varana, shares ties to my bloodline. Before I can go home, I need to find out what happened to her. She was a fearsome and irrepressible warrior. King Cadogan III tried to mandate her service to the crown, but she laid flat every man sent to bring her in. Eventually, he realized that she couldn't be controlled, and he gave her a mercenary charter instead, given the freedom to operate the way she wanted. She won many great victories for the Kalgur. I respect those who make their own way. Her fate here on Ray Class was unknown, but I have a feeling she's still kicking about. A burning spirit like that never goes down without a legendary fight. She's a distant cousin of mine, so I do what I can to protect her. Got some weird ideas about the world, though. Thinks belief can shape events. If it could, we wouldn't have been defeated during our last campaign. We're a proud people, but aren't they all? Difference is, we labour against the grim realities of life through the judicious application of bravery and courage. One's lineage carries an ongoing tally of renown and accomplishment. We do this not for ourselves, but for our children, should we one day have him. He's open.
Hello there! I'm Rog. I specialise in logistics and planning. I don't know how you've survived out here on your own, but I'll do what I can to support you with my supply skills. From the back, far from combat. I'm bound by honour to discover the fate of Uhtred and the Order of the Chalice. I'll trade you for any relics that you find with their marks and runes. They were the primary priesthood and religious order that went with the initial ships to Rayclast. They interpreted the stars and the workings of mysterious forces such as alchemy, machinery, and runes. I've always wanted to join the order. I quite like the idea of spending my days sequestered in a laboratory doing research. He's as loyal a friend as you'll ever find. He would never admit this, but all his scars and injuries are the result of diving in to take a blow for one of us. By all rights, Gwennon should be half mauled, and I should be missing a leg, but Tujin leapt between. I only feel safe enough to do my job because he's around. She'll never lie to you, Exile. Take that as you will. Thousands of years ago, the last news coming back to the homeland painted Uhtred in quite the negative light. Some called him a traitor, but the details were sparse and confused. I'm here to clear his name or condemn him. The truth stands above all. Here for a deal? I hope you know what you're doing. Stay safe.
What'd you need? Many a campaign would have failed if not for his logistical skills. We've trekked through mud, rain, snow and sand, and yet eaten heartily throughout. It's the true basis of war, mind you, logistics. Don't think we don't know that.
My mana is gone.
Stay safe.
Ah, a fellow warrior. You and I must share tales of ancestral bravery around a campfire. But first, I have a request. A matter of honor. I believe it is something you are well suited for. The most powerful artifact in our known tales was brought to this continent by the first expedition thousands of years ago. The songs tell of it incinerating evil, purifying tainted fields, and warding off those of ill intent. We could certainly use a relic like that now, in these troubled times. But to find it, we'll have to retrace the steps of those long-ago souls. Only they can tell us the Triskelion Flame's unknown fate. My quest is to investigate the Knights of the Sun and acquire their relics. I'm willing to trade other less important relics for theirs. We are of the Kalgur. Ours is an existence spent scrabbling in the muck and mire of mortal life in search of scraps of renown. Some find it on the battlefield. Some find it in service. Others volunteer to sail to the edge of the known world on an impossible quest. The choices we make determine what we are, and what we become echoes into legend. The runes on our armor essentially capture and shape starlight. Sounds poetic, but don't be fooled. The smiths of the Kalgur turned these runes towards killing work long ago, as soon as they discovered they could compel arrows to find their mark, and blades to bite deeper. The greatest smiths became known as artificers, and produced work of singular genius. There weren't many such relics, but there didn't need to be. I believe that you believe that these colored gems give you power, Exile. I've handled one of them, even tried to activate it the way that local Tarkly described, but it didn't do a damn thing. Call me a skeptic, but to me, it seems like the power was inside you all along.
I cannot do this yet.
For the Kalgur!
My mana is gone.
For the Kalgur!
Uhtred and his priests had their own secret agendas. Hard to decipher overly religious logbook text that might not even be truthful. Not knocking religion, just their bombastic choice of words. Everything's pure and starlit and gleaming. Makes piecing together a trail an exercise in frustration. There's at least one Order of the Chalice site mentioned. What shall we pursue, Exile?
Oi! Over here.
Hurry, there are monsters about.
Well met.
Stay safe.
Shadow can never overtake light, demon.
Die and be forgiven! Faithless! Atone!
No minion of sin could be this powerful.